Hey YouTube, this is my initial impression of this red dot, the Frenzy 1 by 26 by 32. This is the SCRD 79 on the website, also known as the F3. I bought this dot because I wanted to replace my SIG Romeo 3 XL. At this price point, it's kind of hard to argue. If it holds up, it's kind of hard to argue. So this dot, the new one, the Vector Optics, it's a 26 by 32 size window, which this one, the Romeo 3 XL, is a 32 mil wide, so they're the same width apart. However, it's 24 mil height. So this Vector is supposed to be 2 millimeters taller. Now, when you look at them side by side like this, it looks like the 3XL is wider. And the 3XL sidewalls go straight up. Where you can see with that Vector, the sidewalls kind of taper. They taper inward at the top. They kind of go a little bit. I mean, it is so slight, but it does go inward, where you lose, obviously, real estate in the top left and top right corners, which is kind of dumb because that's where the dot goes, right? It goes that way or that way, right? So it goes up, though. So, I mean, but with how massive this window is, I think it's going to be pretty hard to lose that dot, to be honest. So I guess the advantage is because it's taller, even though it's probably just right there at the apex. Kind of like how the 3XL has the apex there. You don't really lose much versus this. There's no like measurement on the area of the size of the window. But I mean, I guess if you just multiply the 2 by 2, then the 26 by 32 versus the 24 by 32, this is technically bigger. But, you know, with the window shapes, the way they are, they just measure them at the apexes, right? So, I mean, with the odd-shaped glass like the 3XL is, it's not going to give you a true, I guess, area of the size of the glass. I would argue the same for this guy as well. When you compare the two, though, the Romeo 3 XL is a little bit more blue, if you can tell. And this is obviously used, and this one is not. So this one has a little bit of, I guess, dirt on the window. It makes it look maybe a little bit more blue. Let me clean that off, and then we'll see. But the 3XL has always kind of been a little bit blue to me. So, and I don't really mind blue tint, honestly. I don't pay attention to that. You're seeing the dot, right? So, yep, but definitely it's a little bit more blue. The Vector looks definitely blue, but it looks somewhat darker, so it's harder to see the blue. Anyways, all Vector optics come with this cool little tool. However, as soon as I just try to use it, you see that twisting right there? It rendered itself useless. First try. Oh man, what a piece of junk. Okay, so these are the screws that it came with, and it was mounted on this Picatinny rail. The rail seems pretty quality, seems pretty heavy. I'm going to try to mount this now to my MPA open gun. So I'm gonna put this thing through its paces, through the ringer, and I will report back to you guys about performance. Any issues, any problems, highlights, lowlights, everything. You will walk through this journey along with me as I walk it. So let's try to mount this. Now, earlier I barely just put it on there, and it seemed to not want to go into those little nubs, which is very interesting. So it's having a hard time accepting those little nubs there. There is a slight gap. There it is. I don't know if you can see that on camera or not. Right there. So I'm gonna try to get a little plastic hammer, mallet, and let's see. Nope. Interesting. So you guys are gonna walk with me through this journey here. Still a slight gap. The back is flush and the front is not. On the website, it said this thing can handle 1,500 G's of shock. So some hammering on this thing should not matter. Still there. Seems like it doesn't want to come off though now. So that's, I guess, kind of be good whenever I mount it. All right, let's see here. I don't see anything in there. Guess there could be some kind of leftover from the optic before on these nubs here. Let's see it. There it is. That was a little strange, but we got it. So now I'm gonna put the screws that I used for the Romeo 3 XL that was mounted onto this platform, and I'm gonna try to use those screws because those are really good screws. They are thick and the heads are thick. See if there's, okay, so it does poke out on the bottom. I'm gonna see, be careful here not to rack it into it, if it will touch or not. Oh my goodness, there's like, I don't know if you can see that, but barely enough clearance. However, that does not make me feel comfortable. So I'm going to look through their bag of screws they sent me. Also, with this optic, it's a little strange. When you try to check out, it tries to force you to buy snap caps from them. And then two, it also tries to get you to buy a bag of screws from them. So I thought like, oh, it's necessary, absolutely necessary to buy these bag of screws. So I purchased the screws. However, turns out you don't need the damn screws, in my application anyways. I think these screws that it was mounted onto the Picatinny rail will do just fine. Yep. So it's the only damn screws you probably would have needed for this. They had Loctite on them already. I will put some witness screws on there later. I marred it up a little bit from that screw being pretty wide. The screws they give you are, if you can see here, they are tapered. So they kind of fit in that little slot there. They're not as, the heads aren't as wide as the ones that came on the Romeo 3XL. However, they seem quality, and they're Torx bits, so I really love that part of it. But look at that right there. They kind of taper inward, so they kind of fit inside. And if you see on the optic right here, it has a little taper cut. So the screw fits a little bit more flush on the inside, which I don't know if it's good or bad. As long as the screw doesn't move, I don't really care. However, let's look at that now. In terms of looks, looks okay. It's kind of weird right there, how it's so close to the blast shield. But in terms of a window, wow, that's pretty big. That's pretty nice. Okay, if this thing works well, now this is supposed to have all the features: shake awake, brightness setting. Okay, I'm noticing this now. The buttons are not as clicky as I like. However, I've used SRO and RMR forever, so those buttons kind of suck, right? So, not bad. It gets plenty bright. Wow, it's very bright. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys instead of just looking at myself. Yep, and it has an indicator when you're at the peak brightness. Okay, I held the down button for about 4 seconds and it turned off. Interesting. So when I turned the on button again, it told me again that I'm at the brightest setting. So I don't know if it's just telling me it's on or that was just for the brightness setting. So turn it down a little bit, turn it off again. There it is, and then okay, so interesting with this one, the down button will not turn it on. You have to hit the up button. Instant on. And I don't think it pulsated to let me know it's at the brightest setting. So I believe only when it's at its brightest setting does it do that. Yep, just turns right on. Okay, so good clean dot, not too fuzzy. It's not the crispest dot I've ever seen. So besides window size, I like the dot. The buttons left something to be desired. Okay, let's look at the windage and elevation adjustments here. Shot a little line on here. So you can see, clearly says up, but it is so dim. It's barely on there. And also the adjustment here, which I have not touched yet, seems like there's a little bit of marring there, like somebody's messed with this already or something. Okay, clearly here as well. It's very faint, but it shows you which direction to go at least. Hopefully that never disappears, because that would kind of suck. Let's check how clicky it is when audible. Very audible and very tactile, so that's good. Yep, okay. So the windage and elevation adjustments are very clicky and very tactile. I like that, that's good. The brightness settings though, I'm gonna let you hear it now. You can feel it. It's not great. Can barely hear it though. So not as clicky as I like. I like really clicky buttons, you know, a lot of feedback, that's good. But it'll make do. So Anyways, I will put this dot through its paces. Probably the next time I do an actual review on it, I will have headshot anywhere from 2,000 to maybe even 5,000 rounds through this. If it lasts that long, I'll be very impressed, to be honest. For the price, quality of glass, the clarity of glass, the dot crispness, I mean, so far everything is pretty good. We'll see if it lasts, though. That's the biggest question, right? Because if it's not reliable, then I mean, what the hell's the point of this thing, right? So we'll see. I'll see if it holds 0. I might even do a test where I find 0 and then I click this 10 times up and then this 10 times right, and then track, shoot it, and then click it back 10 times and click it back 10 times and see if it's held 0 or not. I'm gonna do all kinds of tests with this thing, but I like the looks of it. I like the window size. Yep. Till next time.
Are you ready? Stand by! If you finish, unload and show clear. Stand by.
Oh, that's so bad.
Stand by.
It's not worth it. $30 whole thing.
Are you ready? Stand by.
No.
Finish and let's clear. Clear hammer down and holster.
No.
Go quick. Hey, look at me. How many mics do you think you have? A lot. Shooter, are you ready? Stand by.
Oh no. No. No.
Show clear. Clear hammer down holster.
Are you ready? Stand by. Clear hammer down holster. Range.